And for some people, their real, unique, individual creative capacities only come to light when they're doing something in particular. One of the people I interviewed for the book, I think it's just a great example, is a guy called Bart Conner. For The Element, I mean. Have you heard of Bart Conner? Bart Conner lives in Norman, Oklahoma, and when he was, I always forget this, 6, he discovered that he could walk on his hands as easily as he could walk on his feet. We don't know how he discovered this, but he did. And then he found he could walk up and down stairs on his hands as easily as on his feet. Again, we don't know how he discovered it. And he said it was never much use. But he was in social demand, as a consequence. If any children's parties, they would bring Bart, throw something on the floor. and he said that at parties at home, if the conversation lulled, his father would say, Bart, just do the hands thing there, boy, and the party would pick up again. And he didn't think much about it, but his mother did. And he said that when he was 8, his mother spoke to the school, and with their support, they took Bart to the local gymnastics center in Morton Grove, Illinois, which is where he lived. And he said he will never forget the feeling he had when he walked into this gymnastics center. I said, what was it? He said, it was intoxicating. I said, why? Why did you say that? He said, well, it was like Disneyland and Santa's grotto. He said there were ropes, wall bars, trampolines, vaulting horses, mats. He said, I couldn't believe it. It was intoxicating. You see, is that how you feel when you walk into a gymnasium? Honestly, is that the feeling you get? Looking round, I think not, frankly. But I don't. I do not find it intoxicating. On the contrary, I need to get intoxicated if I get within 50 yards of a gymnasium. But Bart loved it, and he went every day. 10 years later, he walked onto the mat at the Montreal Olympics, representing the United States in the male gymnastics team. He went on to be the most decorated male gymnast in American history. He lives now in Norman, Oklahoma. He's married to Nadia Comaneci. Do you remember her? She was the first perfect 10 in women's gymnastics. They have a wonderful little boy called Dylan, after Bob Dylan. Why not Bob? We don't know. Said, what comes from spending your life upside down, presumably. But and then he and Nadia have their own gymnastics school. It's a fantastic place where they train hundreds of kids in gymnastics, and they're both on the board of the Special Olympics movement. So between them, they've liberated the gymnastic abilities of literally tens of thousands, of athletes with special needs. Well, this was something that Bart had, and not uniquely, but unique to him. But I was thinking about this with Bart. He's a wonderful guy, but his mother could have said to Bart when he was 8, Bart, will you stop it with the hands thing? Like, we get it, but the joke's over. Can you get on with what you're meant to be doing and stop it now? You're 8. Grow up and stand the right way up. But she didn't. She encouraged him. But even encouraging him, she could not have known the life he was going to go on to have, could she? Because it's not like that. Life is not like that. I'm sure she didn't think, Bart can do this hands thing. There's this girl in Romania, and I have a Bob Dylan album. It's all lining up perfectly. No. Because if you invest in your own talent, you become somebody else. And you live a different life. And people come into your life that you wouldn't have encountered, and you affect their lives. And that's how it is. There's an ecology of creativity where we each stimulate and support each other's work and sense of possibilities.